Trios Championship stole the show once again in Lucha Underground. Welcome back, everyone. This is Jason, a.k.a. J-Bone of the Rambling About Wrestling podcast, right here to bring you my review of Lucha Underground, episode number 28. Go over the matches and some of the stuff in between the matches. And I also want to discuss something else. It has to do with the characters on the show and a little bit about their history, which I found to be very interesting. It was kind of like, oh yeah, I remember that. But to start off, we get the debut, in-ring debut, first match of Marty the Moth Martinez. And, oh my God, you want to talk about all sorts of things within the first couple minutes of seeing this guy in the ring for the first time. Creepy, totally creepy. The way he was like behind Melissa Santos, I believe that's her name. And then he's all, waving his, doing the whole, that's why they call me the Moth or whatever, and then he starts out the match with the champ. He's going against Prince Puma, and he comes up to him and he's like, "Oh, I'm so excited to meet you." Gives him a big hug, and it's crazy. Can I get a picture? Someone please give me a camera. Take a picture, and then just snap, just completely, surprises Prince Puma, turns on him, and gets like just evil on him, just pounding the crap out of him. Which was like, whoa, out of nowhere. A nice surprise. And it was a nice little match to see this guy for the first time. I really had no clue who he was, and I'll get to that. Like I said, I'll get to that in a little bit. When I finally did find out who it was. Yeah, and then Prince Puma wins the match, and then Hernandez comes down. Looks like he's going to challenge him right there, and Conan's like, "Hey, let's do this." He lays down the belt in the middle of the ring, and come on down, let's have this match right now. And Hernandez comes down to the ring, but retreats just as quickly as he comes down to the ring. And so, yeah, we're going to see that match, I have a feeling, really soon within the next few weeks between Hernandez and Prince Puma. And, they keep talking about how you can't trust Conan. And, and yet, even though Conan was down with Hernandez, he keeps sticking to the side of Prince Puma. You gotta wonder if Conan's gonna turn on Prince Puma at some time. It's like you can just feel it the way they're talking about him, and it's like, I know he's revered as quite the Mexican legend, down there, but man, it's he's Vampiro keeps saying he can't be trusted. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if when these two finally meet, Conan finally does turn on Prince Puma and sides with Hernandez. I could totally see something like that happening, but we'll have to wait and see. Just a little foreshadowing there. Then we go to an interview with Johnny Mundo and Vampiro. Cute little interview. It was, I shouldn't say cute, but good little interview. And Johnny Mundo attacked Alberto El Patron, and that's what the main thing of this interview was. And Vampiro trying to pull it out of him, like, "Hey, why did you do this? Don't dance around it. Just tell us." And it sounds like Johnny Mundo's jealous that El Patron just got thrown into that main event status right along with Johnny Mundo. Didn't have to work up or nothing. So, and I think a lot of people are thinking, "Oh, this is a heel turn for Johnny Mundo." I don't look at it as that, because there's a lot of characters in this company, in this brand of Lucha Underground, that are riding that fine line between babyface and heel. And I think I think Johnny Mundo's doing a good job of that. He's not, full blown heel. He would have, if he was, he would have portrayed that more in the interview and just been nasty and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And it would have been a lot more evident. I think he's just, like I said, he's riding that fine line between good and evil, and he's doing it well. He's cocky, he's confident. So, that could be portrayed two different ways in this. Next, we have what looks like it's going to be finally the match between Delavar Davari and Tejano, which ends in DQ, or sort of DQ. Big Rick, of all people, comes down and interferes and attacks Tejano. And I'll tell you what was interesting. When these two first connected during the Trios tournament, and Tejano did something to Davari, and everyone was booing Tejano and cheering Davari for attacking him. For cheering on Davari for finally attacking Tejano and then took off through the crowd. Everyone was cheering him. Now all of a sudden, through the psychology of how they're portraying each other and just everything about them, the crowd is completely turned and started cheering for Tejano and booing Davari. And especially at the end, like I said, when Big Rick comes down and interferes and attacks Tejano, then we finally get the crowd to side with Tejano, which is interesting because they were booing him a couple weeks ago. Now they're siding with Tejano out of respect because he got attacked from Big Rick. And Big Rick has always been, well, I shouldn't say always. Big Rick is almost kind of like the Big Show of this company, where he's heel and then he's face and then he's heel. It's like he was face when he showed up with the Mac and Killshot. Now he's showing his dark side again and being bought out, selling out from Davari. So that's going to be interesting to see where this goes now with Big Rick at Davari's side. Is Davari going to take a secondary role and be kind of like his manager and just throw money at Big Rick and say, okay, you do this and now you do this and get him and get this guy? It'll be interesting to see where it goes. And Tejano now getting cheered. It's funny because he was like the biggest heel in AAA. Now he's getting cheered here. Weird. But yeah, like I said, with Big Rick, we see his biggest allegiance is to whoever's holding the almighty dollar. Next, we see a really a little sexy behind the scenes in Cueto's office. Katrina shows up and tells Cueto that Mil Muertes is coming back and he's coming for Phoenix. He's going to come back, more powerful than ever. And Cueto sets up a death match. So this is going to be brutal to see Mil Muertes come back. I've got a feeling this is going to be one of the headliners of next week. Or maybe. I don't know. It's hard to say. I could definitely see it headlining next week. But nonetheless, it'll be great to see Mil Muertes back, his character, Katrina, and to see how Phoenix takes this all in, considering he thought that, Katrina was with him. But obviously not. You had to see this coming, but didn't think it was really going to happen this quickly. So can't wait to see that. Next, we see Black Lotus. We've seen her sporadically throughout the episodes, training and doing whatever, trying to get away from her captor, the one who kidnapped her, and trying to convince him that she's ready to face the brother of Dario Cueto, the one that's being held captive. And so she's on her way back to see her walking the tracks, hitchhiking and whatnot to get back to the temple. And then as her captor, the one who kidnapped her, is reading the letter, Chavo shows up and has a little meeting with him, saying, if you want her to stay alive, you're going to need me, and I'll protect her. So Chavo's coming back soon. It'll be great to see him. Looks like he's going to, come back, I guess you could say, as a baby face to help her. The most interesting part of this, in my opinion, is to finally find out who is going to be the one in the cell. Who is Dario Cueto's brother? That's going to be interesting. But it'll be great also to see Black Lotus finally get in the ring or see how this all plays out. Then we have the Trios Championships, the ladder match between the Crew versus Son of Havoc, Ivelisse, and Angelico. It's basically a 3-on-2 match because Ivelisse is still in a cast and with the crutches. Just a knockdown, drag-out fight. Ivelisse finally, has a little, once everyone's down, basically completely out, she's the one to climb the ladder, gimp leg and all, and retrieve the championship belts. Incredible match, along with another death-defying dive from Angelico off the top of Cueto's office, fresh with, I should say, along with Cueto, on the phone and staring out his broken window. Like, he's on the phone, he's like, oh, I gotta call you back. It's so funny. Really good match. Lots of death-defying stuff. Great moves from either guy. Both teams working very well together, even though the one was, you could say, handicapped, with the champs being handicapped, and they came out on top. Great to see. And that concludes the episode. Now, getting back to that thing that I talked about at the beginning of this video, a little bit of origin that I did not realize. When I was looking up to see who this Marty the Moth guy was, Marty the Moth Martinez, at the beginning of the episode, the Aztec Pride, big yellow shirt. I looked him up. I looked up on the imdb.com, and then, found his name on there, clicked, and it's Tristan something, Cassius, whatever his name is. He was in the 2011 Tough Enough, and, the one that was hosted by Booker T, Stone Cold, Bill DeMott, and, or it was hosted by Stone Cold, and the trainers were Bill DeMott, Booker T, and Trish Stratus. In that 2011 class, or that series, there was this guy, Tristan Cassius. Marty the Moth was one of the guys, and he left because of injury. There was also Mad Dog Cross, who is Son of Havoc, and Ivelisse, who I can't remember what her name was on the show. But nonetheless, all three of those were on Tough Enough, and they're now stars or becoming fan favorites on Lucha Underground. I thought that was kind of interesting. A little piece of wrestling history there, a blast from the past. And just to show that, less than 5 years later, now they're really getting to shine again as stars in a great show like this. So yeah, just a little nugget of info there that I thought was really interesting, that, some of these ones who are not considered tough enough are proving week in and week out now that they truly are tough enough to do this. So hats off to them for being who they are on the show, that they make the show as special. Son of Havoc, and Evilise becoming some of my favorites on here. It'll be interesting to see, how far this Marty the Moth goes. Good first impression, I'll say that. He'll be a great heel on the show. I think so. And good in-ring stuff, too. Um, so yeah, that's it for this one. Can't wait to see what happens next week. Hopefully we'll see that Hernandez and Prince Puma match. I don't remember if that was announced or not, but nonetheless, we'll see it soon. Thanks for watching.